when this talk came to me, I was really thinking about the continuation of the house that Spirit built. And often when I write the talk and then Spirit has another way of like, sing, wants to add something else. So we're kind of going to move back and forth today. But since we have a lot to talk about, I'm going to get started. But first, I want to tell you a little story. Last night, I put a little dress on Esty, and it had little mini Mickey Mouses, and Luke walked by, and he goes, "Look at my sister. Isn't she a princess?" I wanted to get an aw, and I wanted to say to him, "Is mommy a princess?" But I knew the answer I would get. He would be like, "No, you're a mommy." But it's so much fun in our house, and when those little sweet things happen, I like to share them with you. So why come to a center? Why come and build and give your time and your energy and set the foundation and be involved? Well, the answer came to me through a teaching by Ramana Maharshi in his book, Who Am I? The first paragraph of that book says, all human beings want to be happy, always. Happiness, always. So when we come here, we are looking, for the most part, your story might be different. I don't want to tell your story. But typically, we're looking for happiness. We're looking to unwind the things that are unconscious about ourselves. And we find a community where we're open and loving and accepting. And we want to dig in, and we want someone to sometimes give us guidance. Sometimes we want to do it on our own. But the reason for me that people come, and there's got to be a reason, an aim, and sometimes I have found that people really don't know their reason or their aim. Something just pulls them, and then it's something that they find out over a period of time. So I thought from the opposite perspective, why is the building here? And what's building it, and how is Spirit holding it? And some of the things that came back to me were, we're all one in spirit. Ernest Holmes says, we're all one in the Spirit. We're one in the Lord. And when we recognize this, we should build a house not made with hands. I apologize. We shall build a house not made with hands, but eternal in the heavens. And what he's saying is consciousness builds the house, the collective consciousness of everybody that walks through the door. That a house is it's just not a place, it's just not a building, it's a structure woven in consciousness. It's the collective of each one of us. And as we do our work, we see our building shore up more firmly. We didn't just show up here. I used to hear Dr. Teal say, did your friend bring you? It looks like your friend brought you, but Spirit really spoke to you, because they can't, physically pick you up and put you in the car and drag you along. So something drew you here, something that you might not know or have learned to trust yet. But we're always drawn to a place like this by something greater, something that whispered, you belong, come home. Because ultimately, that mystical essence that we are is always calling us home. And sometimes where we get lost is in the noise of the world. And I have come to learn now that where there is ego, there's noise. And where there's noise, there's ego. And so when we ask ourselves the question, but Tracey, how do I know if the voice in my head is pointing me in the right direction? Well, if it's noise and it's loud and it's clamoring, it's ego. And sometimes that's really hard for us to discern when we have to deepen our work a little bit. And that's when we go to a practitioner or a minister and we sit and we discuss. We get to these unconscious beliefs and patterns that we have. And so this place that's built by love and held by Spirit welcomes us home. It's not comfort alone. It's where we are seen, held, and called to grow. And that's what this house does. When we show up fully, honestly, and together, the house, it calls us to grow. And then it shores itself up. An affirmation for that would be, we are the house that love is building. It's not perfect, not finished, but rising. We are rising. We come here to catch the light, the energy. we put our feet down and we decide what we want to do. And some of us might not know what we want to do. And that's okay, because it's always revealed to you where your deepest bliss and joy is where you belong in the moment. And the next day that might be different. And it's okay to give ourselves permission to ask ourselves every day, what today? What will bring me joy today? But in a foundation of faith, which secures our structure, a house doesn't stand without something beneath it. For us, it's not always money, numbers, or programs, although that is a part of us being here. It's faith. Not just personal faith, but collective faith. When we forget that sometimes our structure might feel shaky, right? People aren't doing what we want them to do. They're not being who we want them to be. And we start to wonder, why am I here? And our foundation gets shook. But when we shore up our faith, it is what reminds us that we are sustained by source, not the outer world, not the goings on, not what peoples are doing and what they're not doing. That we come here and we can sit in the sanctuary, and I invite you to do that. And just in the stillness and the aloneness and the quietude, and to look for that noise and let it just pass through you. Just let it be. You can't stop the noise, because it's a consciousness. It's a collective of thoughts and patterns. And then when we give it attention, we pull it down, we make it ours. And then it aggravates our body. And then we have those emotions and feelings. And sometimes when we get entangled in that, it's very hard to separate ourselves from it. And just like this house has 4 walls and a foundation and is secured by faith, so is our physical temple. And that's how they're the same. That's why when you bring your body here and your energy here and your givingness, you are shoring up the walls of our building, and we become a vortex for good and a signal and beacon to the community. This is home. Our foundation doesn't remove pain. We're not here for you to run away from your pain, for it to be removed. It gives us a place to stand while we heal. Together we hold each other in truth and forgive and trust what's becoming. We let go in the best way that we can. We can say welcome home each time we see each other, knowing that life has probably beat us up a little bit, and maybe it was a little joyful, and you never know what someone's going through. And walking through these doors, we should be like Luke with his little sister. I'm home, just for a little while, if only on Sundays. Let this be a place of joy. If you come in on the weekdays, let it be a place of solace. Our walls are the community. Our walls aren't here to keep people out. They hold the space. They carry the weight. In this house, we collectively are those walls. And when we lean on each other, we don't crumble, we strengthen. I rely on you as a minister. You rely on me for certain things. And together it's an energetic exchange. And sometimes we're going to let each other down. And sometimes that's okay. Because none of us are ever the whole story of what somebody has. Because remember, the noise and ego. And it's always a reflection of what we might be going through. And I too have to remind myself to be forgiving and to let go. And that we can dig into certain things, you know. But these walls are where people come home to. We're a community. And it's messy. Guess what? Community is messy. And that's okay, because life is messy. It's a beautiful, frustrating, uplifting, exhausting mess sometimes. But we still come because we know that we're accepted here in our beautiful mess. We know that there's a welcoming vibration of energy and love. And that it's our responsibility to be happy always. So it's our responsibility to do our own personal journey, to express that divineness on a magnetic scale, and to try to let the other stuff go, or to at least tell the truth about it. Because when we're in our authentic selves, our walls are open, and it holds the space. I was looking online at Reverend Beverly's church in Hawaii, and it's an open church, and they have structures, and the breeze blows through, and I think about how solid those posts and stems must be to hold their beautiful stained glass and how that beautiful breeze from Hawaii must blow through there. But if it wasn't solid, it would fall over. And so we are rebuilding, and rebuilding can be hard, and it's not always pretty, and we have to learn to let go. And sometimes the person who's trying to lead the rebuilding has to let go. And we work together as a community to shore up the energetic feeling that one would have when they walk into a building as ours. That's the real spiritual path. It's just not a building for community. It's a building that we want to stay in. It's a thing that we take home with us. Even when it's uncomfortable, we show up. We are built by love and held by spirit and sustained by grace. Grace sustains us in our most difficult times in our lives. Think about a time in your life where it was very difficult for you and you had to face something, because we are all doing that. We're on this big, beautiful blue planet floating through space, and stuff's going to happen, and we're bumping up against each other and sometimes rubbing each other the wrong way, but it doesn't mean that love isn't present. Love is always present. Spirit is never irritated, agitated, angry. Spirit, the natural part of who you are, the stillness when there's no noise, accepts all things. And it leads us to all things. We, in our personality self, just have to quiet down a little bit to be led in the right direction and to know when to let go. And letting go doesn't mean that the other person's right. It doesn't mean what they've done isn't hurtful. It just means let them have it. What does it mean about you anyway, right? And that's what this building, these walls, these shoring up, that we come in here to discover the principles to help us lead our lives in the most loving way. So the roof is a shared consciousness. It's what we bring every day. It's the love. It's our shared intention. It's what covers us in grace. It's what makes this place a sanctuary, not just for us, but all who enter. And here's what gets in the way of our beautiful shared way of being sometimes, is cynicism, fear. I know I'm afraid sometimes. Judgment, apathy, not because we're bad, no, but because we've been hurt. We all have traumas. And here, if we let these energies define our feeling, we'll get caught up and we'll cap what's possible for our beautiful community. We want to uncap what's possible and step into the next iteration by continuing to build. We want to rise together. We want to keep imagining a higher way of being and live and lean into it. That's how we raise the roof spiritually. Ernest Holmes says that we live in a spiritual universe. God is in, through, and around us. And if we come here and we understand that truth, then it starts to become us. It's not something that we have to think about. It becomes our everyday motive of operandi. Did I get that right? It's our way that we move in a conscious way. And the light is love in motion. The house shines when love is moving. That love might look like showing up to do the coffee. We have Jim in our kitchen. Thank you, Jim. We really appreciate you. It might stay with someone after service to pray. Giving when it's uncomfortable, or forgiving someone who's learning. Love is not always glamorous, but it is always sacred. And when we bring love to the very place we'd rather avoid, which is sometimes something in here, we got to bring love to it, the whole house begins to glow. And if you get the metaphor now, we're not just talking about this building, we're talking about our physical temples, our bodies, our homes, the way we move and live and have our being. When it gets hard, this house, like any house, it's seen its share of growing. Lots of comings and going, lots of pain, roles shift, expectations change. And with that, So do relationships. People come, they go. In our freedom, we have a religion of freedom, meaning, this may be the place for you now, but it might not be tomorrow, and that's okay. That's why you left where you came from, because you didn't want to be controlled by the circumstances or the dogma. So here you have the freedom to come and go. And when it's right for you, you'll be here, and when it's not, you won't, and that's okay. But what we do want to create is that when you come back, we open you with welcome arms. Our doors are wide open. And we say, hi, we've missed you. And with that, it doesn't mean we're broken. It means we're beautiful. It means we're accepting. It means we're evolving. And the human personality, it resists change. Man, that's what the personality is there for. It is a preservation strategy. Your ego is a preservation strategy. It is always looking for the way to protect you, your body, and your beingness. And it was divinely created to do so. Because, once upon a time, you were being chased by a dinosaur. You had to know how to run. And as we evolved, we didn't kind of get the full message of why that happens, that fight, flight, or flee. But what we want is that letdown when you come in here, specifically when you step into the sanctuary. Because it feels safe. And when we're safe, we're vulnerable. And I'm not sure, sometimes we can say, well, I'm not sure about this new thing. I don't know if I want to believe it. But we keep going, and we trust the thing that we're always talking about, the source, and we ignore the noise. Because if something's important, then you need to know it, and you need to say it. It will come to you when the mind is quiet. Ernest Holmes says, find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others, and I will find another Savior. We have to mind our personality selves. We have to learn, and we have to forgive, and we have to let go, and then our doors become open. See, we open wide, not only our physical doors, but our physical presence. Being inclusive doesn't mean that we like or agree with everything or everyone. No. It means that we don't let the difference be a deal breaker for where you want to practice and be and love and learn. We let love, the energy of love, the light, lead us through discomfort. And when we want to shut the door because something's rubbing us the wrong way, we pause and ask, well, what if everything I'm hearing and judging is true, but still not the whole truth? Someone, my mentor, I think I mentioned this, sent me the video by Neville that said, let them hate you. Because people pleaser kind of thing. And it doesn't mean like, well, you can't control what people do anyway, but you can control what you do, meaning let them have it. We get so tied up in trying to prove who we're not. And we can do that as a philosophy too. Who we're not, who we are, we change our names. But the reality is the energetic aura of the philosophy seeps through each and every one of us as much as the things that we have traversed in the past. Hospitality is how we say the house was built with you in mind even before you arrived. The house was built with you in mind even before you arrived. Excuse me. I love that. I love that that energetic feeling that when the doors are wide open, we feel welcome. So when we just stop pretending that the house doesn't have echoes or drafts or old memories, we do, right? This house does, our physical presence does. We let it air out. We bless it. We rebuild it together. Because here's the truth. It is energetically draining to live in a house full of tension. It takes trust to speak up. And when trust is broken, it takes even more trust to do it again. So when we don't trust, we shut down. And then when we shut down, we have a tendency to judge. And then that all takes a toll on our physical being, our social being, our community. But we're not doing this alone. That's the beauty of our philosophy. We're not building alone. We're building something eternal in the heavens and on earth, Ernest Holmes has said. And we need each other to finish it. Love is the self-forgiveness, the self-givingness of spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creating. We are creators. You are a great creator. Smile for me. You are creating. You are creating your life through your perspective, through your attention, through your focus, and that is your superpower. And that becomes our superpower. We need you and your good ideas. And I thought to myself, you know, in a matter of discord, in rebuilding and cleaning out, and when you're cleaning out a closet, you're like, nope, not this one, yes, this one's going to Goodwill, this one's not. And we sometimes hold on to ooh, that one's really special. Like, I don't know, I haven't worn it in 5 years, but something about it just really makes me want to keep it. And we keep on, we hold on to it. And I will ask you, what wants to be let go of in your physical being? What wants to be cleaned out and taken to the Goodwill and that's no longer serving you? That's what we're doing with this community as a whole. And it's hard. It's hard because some of these things you really liked when you bought them. I don't know about you, and I was looking at the sweater today, and I got it in 2011, and it kind of reminds me of, you know, like the 50s. It's a little quarter sweater with beautiful beading and pearls, and I'm like, I just can't let it go. It's so pretty. And I don't know when I'm going to wear it again, right? But we keep it just in case. Well, just in case what for you? What do you need these things for? What do we need them for? Let's find out together. Let's bring it out. You know, so we want to finalize. We want to let go of the thing that's holding you down. Freedom is a thing that is given to yourself by yourself. It is a thing that when you let go and you release, which I'm not telling you it's easy. It's not easy. But what I decided to do is, you know, if I've heard something now, if you've heard something that offends you or hurts you, and that old sweater comes out, we could ask ourselves, this is a message Spirit gave me, that where they intersect. What if it were all true? What if it were all true, what someone said? That made that old sweater come out and go, right? Let it be true. Would it make you any less of a person if what someone said was true? Would it make you any less lovable? Would it make us any less worthy? No. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to get it wrong. You're allowed to be what everybody says. And when that drops, usually what comes to the forefront is that freedom, that happiness always. This goes for all of us. No mistake, no opinion, no misstep disqualifies us from love. We are building a loving foundation, an energetic temple. Here, what we build here manifests there. That's what makes this building. The walls, the foundation, that's what creates the space that we are all drawn to. When we wake up in the morning, we're like, no, and it pulls us. It pulls us because something new is waiting for us. It's asking you to throw away that sweater and come be renewed with the faith and the grace to get you through the next week. Ernest Holmes says that power for good in the universe is ours, and we can use it, and we must. So in closing, I just want to say that it's just not a structure that we're rearranging and changing, but as the structure rearranges and changes, we rearrange and change. And if that's what you're here for, know it, participate, do it, be a founder, give your opinion, and check in. And is it worthy? Is it friendly? Is it kind? Feedback is great. Feedback is wonderful. Are we tied to something old? Is it an old sweater that we just want to leave hanging in the closet? So in closing, this is something that came to me, and please forgive me. I'm going to use this as the prayer, and I'm going to read it because it came to me, and I haven't memorized it. So see, there you go. I'm not perfect, but it's okay. I really want you to hear it. And it is on the journal sheet for you to take into your week. Spirit, the infinite architect of all that is holy and whole, we give thanks for this house. Not the building, but the being. The community of souls who show up, stretch, and grow together. We acknowledge the changes, the cracks, the questions, and still we trust the foundation is love. We bless the walls we hold together, the roof of shared intention. the doors of welcome, the light of love that keeps pouring through. May we release judgment and choose understanding. May we let go of fear and embody faith. May we rise together, not as perfect people, but as willing hearts and something eternal. Let trust be mended. Let love be louder. Let spirit be seen in every interaction, every hand extended, every silence held. We are the house that love is building, held by spirit, sustained by grace. And for this, we give great thanks. And so it is.